Mr. President, I rise today to talk about what's really once-in-a-generation opportunity, and that's the opportunity we have right now to reform our outmoded and complex tax code, and also, most importantly, provide tax relief for our nation's families, farmers, and small businesses. The tax code has not been updated since 1986. If you think about all that has changed over the last 30 years, you know that modern advances in technology have drastically revolutionized the way business is conducted today. Creation of the internet, substantially increased automation, instant communications has, created dramatic changes, and in many ways brought us closer in terms of communication and really interconnected our global economy in ways we never could have foreseen back in the 1980s when we last reformed our tax code. So it is past time. It's not time, it's past time to modernize our outdated American tax code to reflect the 21st century. We must do so in order to ensure that American businesses can compete on the global stage while also providing tax relief to hardworking middle-class families that have been struggling to get and stay ahead over the last decade. The recently released tax blueprint proposes sweeping tax reform that will benefit working families and small businesses throughout the country while promoting job creation, economic growth, and global competitiveness. This country was built on hard work by individuals and families who strive each and every day to make ends meet, to provide for their loved ones, and to plan for retirement. The current tax code is complex. It has many loopholes that do nothing to help our hardworking families keep more of their own hard-earned money. Our tax framework will help individuals and families in my home state and across this country to get ahead by generating new jobs through sustained economic growth while lowering the overall tax burden, putting more money back in the taxpayers' pockets. We do this in a number of ways: by doubling the standard deduction, by eliminating taxes on the first $12,000 earned by an individual and $24,000 earned by a married couple, effectively establishing a 0% tax rate as the bottom bracket, the bottom tax rate. That means that of the nearly 81% of North Dakotans that claim the standard deduction, they could see a significant increase in their take-home pay. And that's true for other states across the country as well. Further, we are consolidating and lowering the tax rates across the board while simplifying the tax code to make it fairer for everybody. At nearly 70,000 pages long, it's no wonder that Americans currently spend more than 6 billion, that's with a B, 6 billion hours a year complying with the tax code. In fact, 94% of taxpayers choose to either pay someone else or to use software to prepare their taxes because of the complexity of our tax code. Our goal through tax reform is to allow the vast majority of Americans to file their tax returns on a single page. Simple calculation, something that they can do themselves. We want to reduce the cost and stress that many Americans feel during tax season. Further, our tax framework aims to create greater opportunities for small business owners, farmers, others, and helping them to drive our economy, grow our economy, and be more competitive than ever before. While we focus on a business-friendly state in North Dakota, we have a very business-friendly climate. The federal tax continues to place an undue burden on the nearly 71,000 small businesses that operate in our state, which is more than 95% of all of the employers in the state. And again, this is something that applies across the nation. The driver of our economy, the backbone of our economy, is small business. They're the job generators. They're the job creators. And we have to do more to help them do what they do, which is create jobs and grow our economy. Same thing with our family farmers. In my state alone, more than 30,000 family farms and ranches across our state. Their marginal tax rate can reach as high as almost 45%, nearly twice the average rate of the rest of the industrialized world. That creates real challenges. So this tax framework follows the example we have set in our state by restoring economic opportunity, by lowering the tax burden, and by enacting a pro-growth tax code. Economists in general agree high corporate taxes reduce wages to workers, raise costs for consumers, and reduce returns on retirement savings. That affects all of us. Maintaining high tax rates does nothing to improve the fairness of our system. It only punishes everyday citizens and reduces economic opportunities for all Americans. For far too long, our tax code has incentivized American companies to send jobs and investment overseas instead of keeping them here at home, keeping that investment, keeping those jobs here at home. Consequently, large multinational corporations now hold approximately $2.6 trillion overseas. $2.6 trillion overseas. Money that could be repatriated back to the United States for investment in American jobs here at home. Our framework would end the loopholes and the incentives that keep foreign profits offshore by moving to a territorial tax system and encouraging a repatriation of these offshore funds and bringing that investment back to America. This is about getting the American economy going again, creating jobs and opportunity here at home rather than overseas. It is vital that we advance comprehensive tax reform that simplifies the IRS code and reduces rates. Putting more money in the pockets of working individuals and families and empowering private investment will drive domestic job creation and increase wages through higher demand for labor and lower business costs. All the while, we can ensure stable government revenues through a broader tax base, a growing economy, and a more efficient tax system. That means we will continue to be able to fund our priorities and work to get our debt and our deficit under control. Ensuring U.S. competitiveness in the global marketplace and providing tax relief to middle-class families will benefit both current and future generations. I urge my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to work together to get tax reform done for the people of my state in North Dakota, for their respective states, and for Americans across this entire country. With that, Madam President, I yield the floor.